I love my job. You don't understand. I love my job. It's an opportunity to work with the businesses already in place that own brick and mortars, that are independent businesses, and help them to grow. Entrepreneurs are a big part of our marketing effort. Both our local economic development people are looking for entrepreneurs to come to the city, and of course we are at the Chamber as well. So I get the opportunity to go and find more entrepreneurs and see who's doing what in their garages and the magic that's being created in this community.
So as we developed our funding sources, we were able to make an offer on the building once we realized we had the additional funding for startup available to us. We made an offer on the building, the offer was accepted, and we purchased the building. We buy antiques outright. We go to antique auctions, we go to estates. People will give me a call if they've met us at a show and say, hey, I have stuff in my barn, do you want to come and look? A good day for me is a day where I get to go through a barn, an attic, a basement, or a garage, and I get filthy dirty. I've given up on wearing nice clothes to the shop because I get to go pick and do all this fun stuff. And then I get to bring it back here and clean it up and present it in a fun way. We really like the opportunity that this space affords us to display bigger pieces, to display multiple pieces.
I'm a firm believer that you should do what makes you happy, right? Because we all have to get up every day and make a living. And if you're doing something that doesn't make you happy, then why should you do it? And I've been in situations like that where I've gotten up in the mornings and go, oh, I'm content. But I also have all these dreams of things that I would like to see done and I'd like to do. And if it wasn't for the people along the way, you know, that were encouraging me or taking time to share with me what they've learned going through the experience, I wouldn't be making the steps that I'm making.
Because I think rural Iowa is losing its vitality for lack of local businesses. Don't get me wrong, I love the big box stores, but at the same time, the big box stores have destroyed ingenuity and inventiveness in small towns. Why would somebody want to come to a small town when I can go down the road and get everything I want? What we want to tell them is there are things we offer that you can't find in a big box store. I think that rural Iowa especially has been hard hit with the aging of our population. Younger people are drawn to the larger cities. Younger people are drawn to the lights and the action. We want to provide some of the lights and the action here.
We're a community of homegrown businesses. And you have to understand, a lot of our businesses that continue to stay in the community, continue to stay in the community. They're vested in where they live. So I think they already get it. We're starting to hear from people, have you talked to so-and-so? She has this idea about starting a business. So those are the avenues we're exploring. And of course, talking with people that are already doing business.
There were days where I'm thinking this is not so good. But I just didn't know where to go. And so I think if there were more resources that were aimed at helping them, education's huge too. But I think in the long term, for the whole state to be prosperous, we really have to start focusing on the smaller businesses, because that's really where the growth, in my opinion, is.
I could not be here without the support of my husband and family. This has been an amazing opportunity for us to grow together as a family. We've learned more about each other and about what we can and can't do well by doing this.
I think there's a lot of female entrepreneurs that we don't know about. We're not sharing the word good enough. When I think of Heart and Home, it's one of the best gift shops in the state. Do I think of her as a female entrepreneur? Not till you ask me about it. I think of her as just a great business owner. So part of it, I think, is the marketing, and the other part is creating an environment where we can make it possible.
For long-term sustainability of the whole state, growth has got to come in the rural communities, and it's not going to come through manufacturing plants and creating hundreds and hundreds of jobs. It's going to come from the guy who starts his own business, where there's 1 or 2 employees, that grows to 6 to 10, that grows to 20, that goes to 25. And that is where we need to be focusing, I think, the efforts and providing more resources, more funding options.
If you were to open a corner store, brick and mortar, you're not just going to walk in and say, I'm going to sell a few clothes and hope people come to your door. You have to have a business plan. You have to think strategically. You want to partner with others in your community. That's how true good business works. So it just makes perfect sense to do that with the entrepreneurs that are growing and building and connecting. I mean, we have unbelievable opportunities in this state to help with that kind of assistance.
Everybody says, well, let's shop local, let's keep the small businesses in town. Once in a while, we even need to remind them of that. On Facebook, we'll go, hey, don't shop, Walmart, shop Small Mart. And we ask them, come back and visit, park your car, walk up and down the street, see what we have to offer. Locally, you get service that you don't get at Walmart. You get to meet people that you would never get to meet and enjoy those relationships. And that's what we're trying to develop, is relationships within the community that will allow us to be here for a very long time.
I shop local. I spend my money where I live, and I encourage all the citizens of this community to do the same thing. Start at home first. Can you get everything here? Almost. But what you can't, go where you got to go to get it. It's a matter of supporting each other. I live here. I want the businesses to succeed. The way that happens is if I support them. It basically comes down to that first.
These small communities are great for raising families. You don't have to move or commute and be gone, because Lord knows I've commuted for so many years. I missed out on a lot of family life. And even though I joke, this is the leanest, financially that we've been in a long time, but I'm the happiest I've ever been, because I'm able to be with my children, and that to me is really important. And when I started my own business, I had a couple criteria. I wanted to be able to make as much money as I could, my terms. I didn't want someone to cap me because I was making too much. I wanted to have flexibility in my hours so that I could choose when I wanted to work. And I wanted to be in charge of my own game plan, and learn by my mistakes and be able to go forward from them. And so far, I've been able to have all of that. So, pretty cool.